Hello and welcome back to Danganronpa. This is episode 16, I want to say it was. And you may be wondering why we're in the middle of a trial and I'm only just clicking record now. The simple answer for this is that I looked down at my recording, like I'm doing right now, and noticed that the game stuff was looking a bit dodgy. So I thought I'd like check to see if that was actually affecting the recording or not. It's only been 20 minutes, so it's not that I've wasted a lot of time. But it was working fine, but while checking I noticed that my audio, you could barely hear me over the... So I'm actually going to move this mic closer so I can definitely be heard. You could barely hear me over the game audio. So I've got the game audio set to 27 and the other to 60, which is actually even more of a difference than it usually is. It's usually 32 game audio and 60 sound capture, so the difference is even bigger now. But yeah, so what we've established so far is that the body is Mukuro Ikusaba's and not Kyoko's. Hiro wasted a solid 10 minutes on that. And we're currently trying to find a time frame for when the murder happened, since we've established it's between 10 PM, since the body wasn't in the garden when Byakuya and Hiro were in the garden at 10, and when the body was discovered at 9 by Toko. Furthermore, if you remember from episode 15, we've established already that the four other people that aren't Kyoko and Makoto all have alibis because they were dismantling Monokuma in the gym the entire night. So yeah, that means we've got to try and save ourselves and Kyoko, because I'm not convinced that either of us committed the murder. So yeah.
Because of the sprinklers in the garden.
And we've already just said why the murder must have been committed between 7:30 and 9 because of the sprinklers. So that's where we are now.
The sprinklers are set to go off right at 7:30 every morning, right? So if the body had been in the garden before 7:30, then it should have been completely soaked.
Oh, hold on. I remember this part perfectly. The body was wet. Dripping wet, in fact.
It just wasn't though, was it?
Sorry, Toko, but you're wrong.
I'm wrong? How? Are you saying only the mouth down south was wet? How dare you spew such indecent words?
Right, okay, no, that's not what I was meaning. Also, welcome back to Danganronpa, I guess. Jesus.
No, I'm saying that the body was wet, but not because of the sprinklers.
What do you mean? By denying the sprinkler, are you trying to deny my entire existence?
Jesus, this woman needs to get a grip.
Man, you're totally wacko.
If you really think it wasn't the sprinkler, you'd better tell us why!
Oh yeah. Oh, moment of truth. Let's see if I remember how to do these. Right, so,
I admit
bam,
nothing.
bam, bam, bam,
No,
bam,
no!
bam, bam,
That's enough! Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing. No, no, no! That's enough! Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing. I'm right about this. I admit nothing. No, no, no! That's enough!
Bada bing.
How can
Bada
you
boom.
say it?
This should prove it.
That's how it was in the sprinklers. Hold that L, Toko. Hold that L.
Just remember what the body was like after the explosion, and you'll see why it wasn't the sprinklers. The top half of the body was wet, yes, but the bottom half was completely dry. If the sprinklers got the body wet, shouldn't the whole body have been wet?
So they only got the top wet? The bottom was completely dry? What a brutal maniac! I'm so sick of her.
Let's just move on. The reason only the top half was wet was because
I got the bucket.
While the body was still on fire, I doused it with water. But only the part on fire, the top half.
Oh, then I guess the sprinklers really didn't do it.
So if the sprinklers didn't get the body wet, then the murder must have taken place sometime after the sprinklers turned on at 7:30 in the morning.
Which means she must have been killed sometime between then and when the body was discovered at 9.
Like I said.
But Makoto's alibi was only missing from 10 o'clock last night to 7:30 this morning, right?
So there's no way Makoto could have done it. I guess you had an alibi after all. Good for you.
In which case, the only one left without an alibi is Kyoko.
I'd just like to say one thing.
Oh.
If you vote for me and I die here, the mystery of this school will stay hidden forever. Which is why I can't let that happen.
See, right, okay. There's only one way we're getting out of this, we're voting someone to die. And if we've established that it's none of us, and you're the only one that's not got an alibi, that means it's you. So you can't play that if you don't vote for me, we can't just say skip vote. This isn't Among Us.
So are you saying you're not the culprit?
Of course I'm not. I have no reason to kill anyone. This is a trap the mastermind has laid for us.
A trap?
We're this far into the game and now you decide to blame me?
Yeah, that's usually what we do.
Stop wasting time! Stop wasting energy! You really think your little trick is gonna work?
Shut up, you!
Oh.
You got it, boss! Shutting up now!
Anyway, Kyoko, you actually did have a reason to kill her.
Huh? She did?
She thought Mukuro was the ultimate despair. In other words, the mastermind behind everything. So she killed her to try and put a stop to all this. Isn't that right, Kyoko?
I'm sorry, I just love this gin for the trials though. It's always so good.
But you made one catastrophic mistake. Mukuro wasn't the mastermind at all. And as a result, we were forced into another trial, something I'm sure you weren't at all expecting.
So, that was her motive?
If she had a motive and no alibi, well then, I think it's pretty clear Kyoko's gotta be the culprit.
I'm not the only one without an alibi. Makoto's explanation is still insufficient.
You bitch.
Huh?
The sprinklers didn't get the body wet, but that doesn't mean the murder happened when he said it did.
What are you...
Because you see, there is a way the body could have avoided getting wet.
Interesting. I'm listening.
All it would take is covering the body with a certain something to keep it from getting wet.
The tar.
I got it! You're talking about the tarp, aren't you?
You catch on quick. You're right. All you'd have to do is cover the body with the tarp, and that'd take care of the water. In fact, that's exactly what the killer did. The dirt pattern on the tarp can attest to that. Only one side of the tarp got dirty, because that's the side that got covered in water. The side that faced down over the body, meanwhile, kept perfectly clean.
But the blood.
This proves that the killer used the tarp to keep the
What
body
about
from
the
getting
blood
soaked.
though?
But why would they go to all that effort just to keep the body from getting wet?
Most likely so they could cloud the issue of when the murder actually took place.
She's throwing me under the bus here.
In other words, to create an excuse exactly like the one Makoto just gave us.
Wait. something's not right.
And what might that be?
Oh yeah, dancing time again. Body before the explosion. It's gotta be that.
By covering the body with the tarp, the killer prevented it from getting wet.
So the reason the tarp was only dirty on one side is because the sprinkler got that side wet.
But the underside of the tarp, it was totally spotless, right?
It's because that side was protected from the water.
No, not that.
Shoot!
By covering the killer prevents. So the reason that is because the spring, but the underside, it was totally. It's because that
Side was since it was facing down toward the body. Of course, it didn't get dirty.
Oh, it's gonna hit it. Yep. Okay. No.
By covering the killer
Don't worry,
prevented.
we're good.
So the reason that is because the spring, but the underside,
We
it was
got
totally.
this.
It's because that side.
Since it was facing down toward the body, of course it didn't get dirty.
Oh yeah.
No,
This
it's
is why
wrong.
you wait for the entire thing to go through once. I've got 16 minutes of doing that. I think I can
Actually,
spend a little time doing
one
that.
side being clean is pretty strange if you think about it. Because the blood wasn't dry before the body got blown up, right? Byakuya said it himself. Not to touch it, or you might get some on you. If you put a tarp on a body in that state, it absolutely would have gotten blood on it.
Well, maybe the culprit washed it, so nobody would know they'd used it.
If they had, they would have washed both sides. Just washing the one side wouldn't hide anything.
Oh, yeah, true.
More than that, what if the very blood we saw on the body was meant as a kind of camouflage? What if,
What?
after the killer used the tarp to avoid the sprinklers, they then covered the body in blood that didn't belong to the victim?
What do you want of it?
Someone else's blood.
Wait. Oh my god, the chickens.
Like that.
I know! They could have grabbed some of the blood packs from the nurse's office. That's what Hifumi did, right? When he pretended to be dead?
No, that's not what happened this time. The killer got the blood from right there in the garden.
The chickens!
I got it!
Yeah.
Could it have been chicken blood?
What? Chicken blood?
When I checked the chicken
Because there
coop
was
before
5
the
and then there
murder,
was only 4.
there were 5 chickens. But after the murder, there were only 4.
So, you're saying someone killed a chicken and then covered the body with its blood? Man, that's messed up.
Killing a living thing just to do something like that is awful. They should have at least eaten it.
I wonder if the killer had to get the blood from the scene so they wouldn't be spotted walking around. Anyway, there's no denying that a chicken went missing, which provides a basis for my theory.
No, she does have a point.
Perhaps, but even so, there's one thing that still doesn't make sense. You said the culprit used the tarp to avoid the water and then covered the body in blood, right? But if that's the case, then the blood should have soaked into the ground around the body. But that's not what we saw. Only the victim's clothing had blood on it.
They could have just been very careful.
The ground was completely clean.
The
I have to agree, that certainly is strange. Maybe they didn't apply the blood at the scene. Maybe they covered the coat in blood beforehand.
They covered it beforehand?
When you discovered the body, was it wearing the coat like you normally would?
I think so. Wait, no. The head was through the neck hole, but the arms weren't in the sleeves.
Then that settles it.
Sorry, I'm having a tough time keeping up. What settles what?
Here's what happened. The murder took place before the sprinklers went off. But the body didn't get wet because the killer covered it with the tarp. Then, later, at the same time the killer was gathering up the tarp, they pulled the coat over the body, the coat they'd already covered in blood. This series of cover-ups was meant to disguise the actual time the murder occurred. They wanted us to think the murder happened sometime after the sprinklers had gone off, at 7:30.
But
If
it
that's
didn't.
actually what took place, it certainly becomes possible that the murder happened earlier.
Uh-oh.
But to pull all that off,
Oh, jeez, that's it. Damn. I apologize for yawning.
wouldn't they have had to go back to the garden after the sprinklers turned off?
That actually wouldn't have been all that difficult.
Huh?
Don't know why I'm so
They
tired.
already had the coat ready, so they just had to grab the tarp and pull the coat over the body. They'd be done in no time.
Maybe. But still.
Hina, after you met up with Makoto in the dining hall, did you two stay together from that point on?
Oh no. I headed off to the gym, and Makoto didn't show up till later.
Then he had plenty of time to spare, wouldn't you say?
That's not.
Don't bother saying it's not possible.
Oh. Oof.
I must admit, Kyoko's reasoning is sound. Makoto's alibi is inadequate.
She doesn't seem too happy about having to entrap me.
Well then, it looks like we're back to square one. Makoto's alibi is no good, so once again, our suspects are him and Kyoko.
For serious, man? Which one of them did it? Hey, why don't we let luck decide? Let's flip a coin. 50-50 odds.
And you're 100% wrong.
Oh!
See? Pretty good idea, right?
No, not that. I just remembered something super serious.
Oh,
Well, don't just stand there. Out with it.
You know that knife we found all black and burnt?
oh no. I know where this is going.
The one we found stuck in the body before it exploded, right? According to the Monokuma file, the knife went all the way through, from front to back. So, what about it?
I'm pretty sure I'd seen that knife somewhere before. That's what I thought when I first saw it. I just remembered.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, this is me getting bored.
It's the knife we gave to Makoto?
You don't seem surprised. You must have noticed earlier.
Yeah.
Then why did you hide that fact?
It's not that I hid it. It's just.
That person's not got fake nails on though.
Suspicious. Very suspicious indeed. The knife we found stuck in the body came from Makoto. Now I'm totally convinced he did it. 12,000% convinced.
Oh, we're back at it again with that Krispy Kreme.
The knife we found lodged in the dead body.
It's the same one we gave to Makoto.
It really is, isn't it? I was afraid of that.
If he did have that knife before, then that seals it. Makoto did it.
Just because I had the knife once, that automatically makes me the killer?
Well, getting stabbed is what killed her, right? So there's no question. You took that knife of yours and killed her with it.
What a horrible man you are, Makoto.
The the knife we found lodged in the dead... It's the same one! It really is, isn't it?
If he did have that, that seals it. Just because I have that automatic...
Well, getting stabbed is what killed her.
Yes!
No, it's wrong.
First try again. I realize that makes no sense, but I've gotten all of these correct first try before.
Wait, hold on.
We're doing quite good.
The stab wound isn't what killed Mukuro. That should be clear from the description of the cover-up we just heard.
Lies! We never talked about what killed her.
No, don't you remember?
I can feel pins and needles in my leg. I can't do anything about it because the laptop's on it. Oh, this is
Killer
uncomfortable.
covered the dead body with the tarp, and
Hang
then
on, let
put
me
the
just-
bloody coat on it,
Ugh.
right?
Alright, I'm just gonna have to go off the flow here on if this has worked or not. I have zero clue if my audio is working again or not. So, yeah, also I've just noticed the camera at the top is very laggy. So that basically makes that useless, but we're just gonna have to roll with it. Especially if I'm actually being considered the killer here, and something might actually happen. I kinda need to keep the camera on. I don't know, like, do I move maybe like that, and then that should put me back in the normal position, right? Like that. There we go.
In other words,
Let's keep it
the
there.
victim never wore that blood-stained coat until after they were dead.
Okay, fine. So what?
So, when we discovered the body,
Good news is I'm no longer got pins and needles on my leg, so that's something. I've just now had to waste a minute unplugging and replugging in headphones.
the knife had been thrust through the coat along with the body.
Oh,
Meaning,
yelling again.
if she
Why am I so
wasn't stabbed
tired?
until the coat was put on, and she was already dead at that
Been
point,
tonight, today, early, isn't it?
obviously the stab wound isn't what killed her.
Maybe you stabbed her twice. Once to kill her and once to cover it up.
I mean, Monochrome File just says, nah,
I
bro.
got it! The Monokuma file clearly states that there was only one stab wound.
Oh yeah, it sure did. I totally forgot about that.
Then the knife...
Was just another piece of camouflage set up by the true killer. They probably stabbed her to draw attention away from what actually killed her. Exploding the body afterward was probably meant to do the same thing. The explosion severely damaged the body, making it impossible to know what really killed her. It was all the killer's attempt to destroy all evidence of their crime.
So they wanted us to notice the stab wound and then detonated the body afterward. They meant for us to latch onto the knife as the cause of death, then destroy any evidence proving otherwise.
Oh, hey, I have a question. It kind of goes back to the beginning, but what's the deal with that explosion anyway? Why'd the body just blow up all of a sudden like that?
If you bothered to put that lump of gray matter between your ears to use, you'd know the answer.
Well, if you're so smart, just tell me.
I'll tell you. I bet some unknown quantum particle caused an atomic level spontaneous combustion!
I might be dumb, but even I'm not dumb enough to believe that.
Go ahead, Makoto. Tell her or we won't make any headway on this.
Hey, Byakuya, why have I got to do this, huh? Well, how do you finally do something useful?
I got it! After the explosion, we found a tiny fragment of something on the ground near the body, right? That fragment reveals the cause of the explosion.
Huh? You know, I feel I've seen something like it somewhere before.
That's only natural. Because, of course, we saw the same thing when we dismantled Monokuma. It's part of a bomb.
Oh! Then the explosion was because of the Monokuma bomb.
Yeah.
Anyway, the culprit's motive is becoming more and more obvious by the minute. They wanted the knife wound to look like the fatal injury so that we'd suspect Makoto. And the only one who would benefit from that is the only other possible suspect. You, Kyoko.
Hold on a second, Byakuya.
What's the problem?
Well, I just feel like we need to think this through. We still don't know what actually killed the victim.
That's true. It's definitely bugging me. What really killed her?
Fine. I have no problem with that. Let us continue the debate. It won't change the facts of the case regardless.
This is real uncomfortable. I'm gonna lean back a little bit. Hopefully that doesn't put me too much out of the camera. No, it doesn't. We're good. Besides, now it kind of means the lagging of the camera's a bit off.
Then, shall we continue the debate? The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined, correct?
The explosion didn't kill her for sure.
Nah, what do you mean, bro? She was
Well,
deadly, so
yeah. She was already totally dead when that happened.
And it wasn't because of the knife, right? And then there's only one other thing.
Oh, yeah. According to the Monokuma file, that's gotta be it. There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back of her head.
And more than that, the victim had suffered countless wounds
Across her entire body.
Then, shall we continue?
Continue the debate?
The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined.
yes!
No, it's wrong.
Come on!
Mukuro died because of the blow to the back of the head she suffered.
What about the wounds all over the rest of her body? They didn't have anything to do with it?
The Monokuma file makes it clear that those weren't fresh wounds.
Oh yeah, good point. If they were old, I guess they don't really matter.
Okay, then we're safe in assuming the blow to the back of her head is what killed her.
But then, what was the murder weapon?
The Monokuma file says she was hit with a blunt object, about as thick as a metal pipe.
Oh, I bet it was the pickaxe!
How is that even possible? If you hit someone with that, it'd cave their skull in completely.
Well, maybe they held it the other way and hit her with the handle.
No way! The balance would be all off. You wouldn't be able to swing it with any kind of power. I wouldn't mind testing it on you if you want.
No thanks. I bet you just hit me with a metal end and call it an accident.
I'd love to scoop out that nasty brain of yours, throw it on the ground, and spit on it.
I feel the same way. Looks like we're on the same page this time.
What the hell?
Seriously?
We want to figure out what killed her, right? It just so happens we already know.
We already know? I knew we could count on you, Master.
So what was it?
Go ahead and tell them, Makoto. Surely you've deduced the real murder weapon?
Me? No, me no speak English. Me amo España. Right, which of these could be used as a murder weapon? The titanium arrows is like the only murder weapon thing. And they're wrapped up in the blood with duct tape.
I got it!
I'm actually a genius.
Mukuro
Boom.
was hit in the back of the head with something. And that's what killed her.
Too smart, bro.
And
Too
that
smart.
something was the titanium arrow we found in the locker in the dojo.
An arrow? That's what the culprit attacked Mukuro with?
Indeed. There's no doubt about it.
Are you sure? That sounds kind of weird.
Hey! How dare you backtalk, Master? You have no right!
I'm not back-talking anything. I'm just saying what I think.
Sellotape. Salted.
The titanium arrow. It was in the dojo locker, right? I have no doubt that was the murder weapon.
Are you sure?
Oh, I just hit the
You
thing.
don't sound convinced. What's the problem?
Well, because in the Monokuma file, it said the weapon must have been about as thick as a metal pipe, right? It seems like an arrow would just be too thin.
Hit that.
Talking back to Master!
You have no right!
The titanium, it was in the dojo. I
Alright,
have no
I
doubt.
just gotta stay here.
You don't sound
Well, it said the weapon must have been about as... It seems like an arrow would just be too thin.
I missed.
Talking back to Master!
You
Twice.
have no right!
Bruh.
The titanium, it was in the dojo. I have
No,
no
let's
doubt.
just use the focus one out.
Well, it said the weapon must have been about as... It seems like an arrow would just be too thin.
There we go.
No, that's wrong.
I had to use the entire focus bar for that, but we got it.
You're right. Just the one arrow would have been too weak. That's why the killer used another weapon.
Another weapon?
Inside the dojo locker, we also found a balled-up wad of duct tape. The killer probably used this duct tape to bind multiple arrows together. Bundling them together using the duct tape would easily create a single weapon as thick as a pipe. And that's exactly what the killer did.
It's similar to Aesop's fable about the bundle of sticks. One stick is weak, but put them together and they become strong. It's meant to teach cooperation.
Damn, that's harsh.
How is it harsh? Are you even listening?
Yeah, that's nothing well about that is
Anyway, that explains the murder weapon. As for who the culprit is that stashed the weapon in the dojo locker, it was you, Kyoko.
Yeah.
I've never been to the dojo.
Literally the first time I saw you, once the 5th floor was opened, was in the dojo.
Oh no, you
What do you mean?
absolutely have.
How can you say that with such confidence?
Because we have proof, of course. Don't we, Makoto? What's the matter? Surely you don't intend to protect a murderer. You know what will happen if you do, don't you? If you cover for the culprit, there's only one thing that can lead to the death of us all, remember?
Nah, bro, that just slipped my mind. My bad.
Of course I remember.
Then show us. Show everyone the evidence that proves Kyoko went to the dojo.
It's the key. The key.
I got it!
Yeah.
The one thing
Oi.
that proves Kyoko was in the dojo is right here. The key to the dojo locker.
And
As
how
opposed to
does that
locking the
prove
chair, It's
anything?
probably not good for the recording.
Because I found it in your room.
It was in my room?
Don't bother trying to play dumb.
But she
That
didn't have her key.
is just the final piece of the puzzle.
She didn't
Your
have her key to her room.
non-existent alibi, your clear motive, your attempts to frame Makoto for the crime. This all proves that you are the true culprit. You can't explain this away, so just give up.
Hold on a second.
Not this again. You really are dead set on defending her, aren't you?
No, it's not that I want to defend her. It's just, there's one more thing I need to ask her. Kyoko, I want you to tell me something. Last night, you were in my room, weren't you? Why? What were you doing there? That's what I need to know.
I was just protecting you.
Oh.
What?
Well, there's a subtle surprise.
Enough. The time for idle chatter is over. A verdict is close at hand.
Wait,
No, it wasn't really.
I'm warning you. Don't make this mistake. I'm not the killer.
I knew you were stubborn, but this is just getting ridiculous.
Really? But you should know better than anyone I didn't do it. Can you tell me I'm wrong?
I should know.
Because he had the key.
Those words you just spoke. What do you
It's
mean?
not going to be when
Exactly
the
what I
body was
said.
found.
I'm not the killer. You should understand that more than anyone here.
Byakuya, what are you hiding?
Master would never hide something from me.
There's proof that you aren't the culprit. Is that what you're saying?
You stated a theory earlier. You said I hid the evidence of my crime in the dojo locker, and then left the locker key in my own room, correct? But
Could I really have done that?
Those words you just...
exactly what I said. I'm not the killer.
No.
Shoot!
Those words you just...
Exactly what I'm not the you should understand.
Byakuya.
Master would never.
There's proof that you... Is that what
It's
you're...
that
You
Byakuya
stated
line.
it. You said I hid the
And then left the locker
key in my own butt. Could I really have done that?
Those words you just...
Exactly. I'm not the you should understand.
Byakuya.
Master would never.
There's proof that you aren't the culprit. Is that what you're saying?
You stated it. You said I hid
What
the
on
and
this?
then left the locker key.
key in my own butt. Could I really have done that?
Those words you just...
Third time's the
Exactly. I'm
charm.
not the you should understand.
Byakuya.
Master would never hide something.
There's proof that you aren't the culprit.
Hit that? Yeah.
No, it's wrong.
Hit it with a fist bump.
If I'm
Jesus, that
right,
looked so bad in the
Kyoko
recording.
wouldn't have been able to get into her room
Why not?
because she had given her room key to Byakuya.
Come on.
I see.
Why am I
So that's
defending her
what you
though?
meant.
I mean, I guess if she's not the killer, then yeah.
And if I had the key to your room...
Then obviously I had no way of getting in. Without my room key, I couldn't have possibly put the locker key in there myself. Am I wrong?
It would appear not.
Then you're finally starting to understand.
Oh. The mastermind's trap. This is it, isn't it? Running away is not happening. Do we pursue the lie, which risks getting Kyoko killed, or do I just let it go? Which really is probably gonna get me killed. But I know I'm guaranteeing Kyoko didn't do it, and I don't want Kyoko to die because then we all die. I'm gonna let it go. I'm gonna do some Frozen. Let's let it go. Because he's not a killer, which means she must have. This must just be a plan to try and break the mastermind's trap.
Well, does no one have a rebuttal? Have you decided to accept her assertion as fact? I see. So you still refuse to accept it. I suppose we have to admit that Kyoko didn't put the locker key in her room, that it was someone else.
But who else could it have been?
I mean, Byakuya had a room key, right?
You! What are you trying to imply?
But of course, I have an alibi. From nighttime on, I was with you guys the entire time. I couldn't possibly have killed anyone, or put the key in Kyoko's room.
Well, someone had to put the key in there.
There's only one other possibility I can think of. Someone could have had the key on them, then once they arrived at the scene, pretended to find it there.
What?
It had to be Makoto, right?
Oh no.
I don't see any other option.
Wait a second. You've got it all wrong. Let's think about it one more time. There's gotta be a hidden side to this case.
Huh? A hidden side?
First of all, there's something off about this entire trial. You all see it, don't you? Mukuro, who we didn't even know existed, suddenly shows up dead, and then we're thrown into a trial. And Kyoko even said it's a trap the mastermind set for us. So
Yeah.
that's why this has to be...
Okay, time's up!
Time's up.
Huh?
Time's up! Class trial's all over! Everyone can stop talking now!
What? Time's up?
What do you mean time's up? There's no time's up. Since when have we...
It's because you were late, so we had to push back the start time. So then, it's time for voting time, okay? Everyone, please vote using the lever in front of you!
Voting time?
Hold up. Wait, that's the end of the Oh no. Oh no, I can see where this is going. Hey.
Now, who will be chosen as the blackened? Will you make the...
Hey, hold on!
What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
Uh-oh. Moment of truth, here we go. Who's been found guilty? It's me, a very angry looking me. Bro, what is wrong with Makoto's picture? Why you look so angry? Ah.
Sorry.
Yes, indeed.
What?
Yep. Hey!
Wait, hang on.
Shing! Thrills, chills, kills!
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
I don't expect you
She
to
doesn't look
forgive
too
me.
good.
I know this is all my fault.
Oh no.
Let's give it everything we've got! It's punishment time!
Did I get a bad ending? Is this the bad ending? Oh no. Oh no. No, I must have gotten the bad ending or something. Hang on, pause, time out. Oh no, what? Have I just gotten the bad ending to this game? Is that what's happened here? After school lesson. I'm not exactly restricted here. Like what's stopping him just getting up and walking off? Technically nothing, but still this. No, I don't know if I can watch this. I've just gotten Makoto killed. I don't know if I can watch this. Makoto, no, my boy. Makodio! Wait. Oh, is that Alter Ego? Oh my god, no way. No way. Oh my god, wait, have I survived? Oh, that's a drop right into the head. No, is that... Wait, so is that it?
What?
Wait, am I alive? Am I safe? What's going on? Okay, that's not how the execution was meant to go. I can tell you that. I'm gonna say I was meant to get the
This is...
Wait, I'm so confused. Hang on. So that's not how I was meant to die. I was meant to die from the squish.
It would seem.
What the heck?
In other words,
Hmm.
Oh mate, stop laughing. Bugger off.
calm down. In other words,
What did you say?
so.
Wait, so am I alive? Am I dead? I'm so confused. Oh. We're back here again. So why are we back here? Is this the beginning of the game? Am I just gonna have to restart the entire game because I got Makoto killed? Was I meant to pursue the lie? What's going on? Okay, no, we're not restarting the entire game. Oh, I'm alive. He survived! Yes! Oh no, I accidentally clicked auto. Oh, no. Bad auto, bad. No auto. Actually, I probably should be using the auto because it would make these a lot faster, because then it would read at the time the game expects you to read, not my time to read, not, you know, everyone else's. It's just the game, and we've all got to adapt to that. I can't believe this though. Alter Ego coming in with the clutch. just to save me. And here we are. That is a very tall rift. Anyways, I think I'm gonna leave this episode here. This has been a madness of an episode, and we've somehow kept it to 50 minutes. So, this isn't the end of Danganronpa 1. I don't know what else to say. I'm so baffled. We survived. We got a random flashback, and now we're in a garbage pit. Nice. Let's see. Okay, I guess I'll just round off the video here. Thank you all for watching. I shall see you all in the next video. I don't know what I'm going to record yet, but it probably won't be another episode of this, because that's the thing. If you didn't watch any of the FIFA videos, and this is like your most recent video you're watching, the camera, like up here, hello, the camera causes the videos to take way longer to process. Like, this takes a solid 4 or 5 hours to process this video, whereas this would take like 5-10 minutes without the camera. But the camera is also helpful because we can catch my reactions, like my physical reactions to things like that, even if they are very laggy. Like, you can still see me move my hands and stuff very laggily. So yeah, I'll try and see if I can find a way to increase my camera's capabilities so that it's less laggy. And yeah, thank you all for watching. I will see you all in the next video. Adios.